Hello and welcome to my channel. You are in my book playlist where we are deep into the book titled Looking Out for Number One by Robert Ringer. How to get from where you are now to where you want to be in life. And we've gone through many of the chapters already. If you are new to my channel and just found us at this video, please do visit our book playlist where you will be able to find these previous chapters and possibly maybe other books that may interest you. The author here wants to share the many hurdles that we need to get through as we are trying to have that quality of life. And so it is important to look out for number one because there are so many hurdles, such as reality hurdle, the intimidation hurdle, the financial hurdle, the people hurdle, the friendship hurdle, and the last chapter was the love hurdle. Perhaps you might see this book cover and say, looking out for number one. And is that a little bit selfish? But I've come to learn that it is not selfish for you to look out for number one, because that's very healthy as you take care of yourself and you find that solid ground, not only in life, in your finances, in work, pleasure, and love. Then guess what? Then you can be a very wholesome person as you begin to share that quality life with others, because it is very hard to give others of what you don't have or attempt to fake at giving others what you barely have and then resenting yourself for the rest of your life because you didn't have enough for yourself. So I believe that we all deserve that. And being able to at least understand what these hurdles would look like would give us an edge if they do show up in our lives. So the last chapter was about the love hurdle. You will find many golden nuggets there, especially when it comes to those intimate relationships and seeking that life partner. While to some it may seem like tough love, especially when addressing those issues about being in a relationship that might not be very healthy and having the maturity and the courage to walk away from that relationship, it kind of makes me think about being in prison and serving a life sentence where unfortunately it's not just one, it's both. And one has to have the maturity to realize this and step forward and free the both parties. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go to this next chapter, and it is titled The Starting Line. So sit back, relax, and I will turn the page. This book is dedicated to the hope that somewhere in our universe there exists a civilization whose inhabitants possess sole dominion over their own lives, where every individual has the ability to recognize and the courage to acknowledge reality, and where governments as we know them do not exist. Chapter 9. The Starting Line. Now that I think about it, I'm glad life is not as Madison Avenue portrays it, because writing this book has reminded me just how exciting and wonderful real life can be, and that above all else is what I hope you have gotten from these pages, that by clearing life's major hurdles, you can achieve a truly joyful existence in which the pleasures you experience far exceed the pain you occasionally endure. What greater epitaph than to be able to say that when you passed this way, you enjoyed life to the fullest extent possible without harming anyone else? By now, I think you know that all this will not happen by accident. To clear life's hurdles require a great deal of effort. Effort is the price, happiness the reward. It takes effort to be aware. It takes effort to make conscious, rational decisions. It takes effort not to delude yourself by feeding incorrect information to your weight and balance happiness scale. It takes effort to concentrate on the is's of life and ignore the ought to's that continually tempt you to stray from a rational course. In addition to effort, it takes courage. The courage to change an established way of life and move on to a better one. You begin to summon that courage when you place your problems in proper perspective. Few problems are insurmountable. There is almost always a way out, a way of getting from where you are now to where you want to be in life. It's not impossible to make changes, just hard. Compromising will not do it. Sweeping irritations under the rug will not do it. Continuing to load yourself down with excess baggage will not do it. What will do it is price paying. you must be willing to make a serious commitment to do whatever it takes to set your life on a winning course. You must be willing to pay the price of trying unique experiences, some of which will cause you pain. Others, however, will lead to pleasure beyond anything you may have imagined. Pay the price of looking around the people store and connect with as many roses as possible. They will add untold happiness to your life if you are willing to deal with others on a mutually beneficial basis. As to the weeds in your life, best you leave them in the people store for someone else to invite into his life. Those who harass you, annoy you, or intimidate you through credentials, custom and tradition, conformity, guilt, or any other ploy have no place in your plans to look out for number one. Unfortunately, problem people will sometimes invite themselves into your life without your approval. But always keep in mind that they can only bother until you make the decision not to allow them to. Above all, when you believe you are finally ready to start clearing life's hurdles, don't allow anyone to hold you back. And once you get down in the starting blocks, no short-term patching allowed. When I say starting blocks, I'm talking about the starting blocks on a track that leads to long-term solutions. When you spring forward toward that first hurdle, make self-discipline and patience your trademarks. Be willing to pay the full price for love, friendship, and financial gain, so your life will not be a perpetual rerun at the hurdles that now stand between your present circumstance and where you want to be. Oops, I almost forgot Old Man Murphy. Always remember that he's out there, lurking in the shadows, plotting to trip you up. At heart, Murphy's really just a playful old trickster. I sometimes suspect that he secretly enjoys seeing people thwart his little pranks. I believe he actually admires those who take his best shots, then pick themselves up, brush themselves off, and continue to move forward more determined than ever. Rest assured that Murphy and nature will continue to see to it that circumstances change. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to handle the phenomenon of change as though it was an everyday occurrence, which it is. All right, enough talk. It's time to get down into the starting blocks. And when you do, keep in mind that the clock does not begin ticking when you lunge forward. It's already ticking. If you have the ability to make conscious, rational decisions, the only question that remains, do you have the courage? You have every right to enjoy a lifetime of happiness, so be good to yourself and enjoy each moment to the fullest. Tomorrow will come soon enough and bring with it its share of sorrows. The past no longer exists. The future is a question mark. The only reality is the present. Personally, I believe you are deserving of the joy that comes from looking out for number one. How can I make such a statement if I don't even know you? Because I believe that every individual has the right to seek happiness, so long as he does not forcibly interfere in the lives of others. So begin today to do good deeds for that person in the mirror whom you have been probably neglected far too long. To paraphrase a well-known pop psych television personality, self really does matter. The world may not owe you a living, but you owe yourself the world. Good luck, and watch out for your toes as you go over each hurdle. If you happen to trip over one of them, not to worry. Simply pick yourself up and keep trying until you clear it, because Old Man Murphy is just testing you. If you refuse to give up, it's just a matter of time until he begins to respect you and allows you to move on. And when you've cleared all the hurdles and broken the tape, it's not the finish line you will have reached. It's the starting line, the beginning of a life where rational dreams have a way of coming true. End of chapter, and also end of the reading of the book titled Looking Out for Number One, How to Get from Where You Are Now to Where You Want to Be in Life. Thank you so much for joining me on this read and visiting my channel. Again, if you just found me at this video and would like to catch up with the other chapters, visit my book playlist and you'll access them there. You'll find that it's worth your time, and also you may be able to extract some golden nuggets from the book. Or maybe you might have a family or friend or someone you love that may benefit from this, and share the link with them. So again, like and subscribe.